Our film today begins with a little boy named Carl, who is walking down the street wearing a scout uniform and holding a balloon. He hears a girl's voice coming from an abandoned house. He decides to go in and find her. He finds her wearing the same scout uniform as him, playing alone. She shouts at him and tells him that only explorers are allowed to enter the place. Then she laughs and introduces herself as Ellie. She then flies away with his balloon. She encourages Eli to climb up and get her from the roof, and he falls and breaks his hand. She goes to him and checks on him, telling him that she thought she would keep him there for a while, and brought her adventure book with her. She tells him that she wants to go live in the Paradise Falls, and asks him to promise to take her there when they grow up. Eli and Carl grow up, get married, and continue to save money to fulfill their dream of traveling to the Paradise Falls. Unfortunately, every time they saved a little money, something happened and they had to spend it. They grew older and older, and their love for each other grew stronger. Then Ellie got sick and died. One day, Carl woke up and went outside to sit in front of his house. He looked around him. All the houses around him have been demolished, and he has a project to replace them. He goes to get the letters that have arrived for him from the mailbox. At that moment, one of the project engineers approaches him and offers him a higher price to sell the house. But Carl refuses and goes back home. Then there's a knock at the door, and when he opens it, he finds a boy dressed in a scout uniform who tells him his name is Russell and asks if he needs any help so he can earn his senior scout badge. But Carl refuses to help him. Russell tells him that he only needs one more badge to become a senior scout. Carl tells him that there is an animal that has stolen his plant and that he can help him catch it. Russell is very happy and runs off to find the animal. Then he sees Carl's big truck hitting his mailbox and goes to yell at the project engineer. Carl hits him with his cane, takes the mailbox, and goes inside. Then Carl is summoned to court and learns that he has to go to a nursing home. When he gets home, he goes to Carl's house. He picks up Eli's adventure book and starts flipping through it, finding it difficult to leave the house and all their memories behind. The next morning, people from the nursing home come to take Carl away. He asks them to wait so he can say goodbye to the house one last time. Suddenly, they see many balloons lifting the house up into the air, with Carl inside. Carl kisses his picture, happy that he is on his way to fulfilling his dream. Then he's surprised when he hears a knock at the door. When he opens it, he sees the head of the man who had been chasing him, peering through the window, looking terrified. Then they enter the house together, and Ras asks Carl many questions. Then a strong storm shakes the house, knocking Carl unconscious. When he wakes up, he finds Ras controlling the directions using his GPS device, which fell out of the window without him noticing. They find themselves in a strange place, far from the city. Carl looks up and sees the waterfalls of paradise. He is very happy to have arrived so easily. He decides to tie Carl to a rope and pull him toward the waterfalls. Then Russell discovers a strange, huge bird and wants to play with it. And then they find a dog. The strange thing is that he was talking at the time, scaring Carl. But the dog reassures him and tells him that his owner invented the collar he is wearing, which is why he can talk. Then a group of dogs appear, wearing collars like the dog. And they look for the bird and learn from Dog that he was able to find the bird. Then he tries to pitch a tent and fails. He tells Russell that he has never been able to pitch a tent, especially since his father is always away. He wishes his father would come to the scout party with him. The next morning, they discover that the bird is female and that she is gathering food for her children. They hide, but it would be better if they could find something for her before she returns to her children. They take the dogs to their owner, Dog, and ask him about the bird, but he doesn't know where she is. Then they take the head of Rakkar Lodge and return it to their leader. After that, Carl discovers that the leader of the dogs is Charles, the explorer whom he and his father loved and watched when they were young. He is overjoyed and climbs into his balloon, unable to believe his luck. Carl tells Charles that his wife had dreamed of living near the waterfalls of paradise because of him. and that he has made her dream come true. Then Charles tells him that he has been trying to catch the bird for years to prove to people that it is real. Then Russell says that it is Kevin's ghost. At that moment, Charles realizes that they have seen the bird and know where it is. Then Carl says that they saw the bird, but it flew away and he doesn't know anything about it. Then Charles sees the bird on some eggs, and Carl and Russell quickly run away. He helps them escape, takes the bird on his back, and runs with them to save them, but unfortunately, he hurts his leg. Russell helps him and bandages his leg, asking for a beak so they can help the bird return to its chicks. The dogs return and tell Charles what happened and that he helped them escape. Then Charles escapes from their place using the collar around his neck, and they go to deliver the bird. And he told him that he was going to take Charles to his trip to the beach. As soon as he got there, he would get his house and they would have to throw them on their side. And they could have caught Charles and given him. Then Charles was in Carl's house, and he had to take Charles' house, and he had to get in the house. He was getting angry by Charles, and he had to call him. He was telling him that he was going to miss him for the trip, no matter what. Then, he was going to throw Charles all the seam of the seam on the floor, and he told him, "I don't need it." And he left Carl and he sat on a rock far away from the house. And then he gets into Carl's house and he sat down on the seat. And he opened a book, Mongomas, and he discovered that he had pictures of them together. He also said that he had written them a speech and he would thank him for the adventure they had done together in their lives. He asked for another adventure. He was very impressed by Carl and he looked at the middle of his head in the sky and he got out to talk to him. But he was surprised that Russell took a bunch of balloons to go and get the bird, Kevin. Then he started Carl to call him to get in the house, so the house would be light, and he could get in the house would be in the middle of the house. So the house would be in the middle of the house, so the house would be in the middle of the house, and he can get in the house once again. When he reached out to the house, the dogs are holding him, and he gets him in a seat. At the time, he sees Charles Carley from the window and he gets him in the seat. When he gets Charles Russell from the door, he gets him in the seat. But Carl is and hit them with his dog. When he gets Charles Carley from the door, he's in the seat, but he gets him. Then he gets in the house and he finds a lot of dogs that have caught the tiger, Kevin. At the time, they're throwing them Carl's small ball and they're coming behind him. And he gets to rescue the tiger, Kevin. Then he was going to fall from the house and he got in the hole. And at the time, he was seeing Charles in front of him. And then he gets the dog in his house. And then the dog can get them to rescue them. And he turns the leader's wheel. And then the tiger, Kevin, can get in. And then he gets the horse to get the chain. And he gets in the house and he gets in to get to Carl. And then Charles gets out of the fire. But Carl can get to it. But unfortunately, the dog's house is getting away from them. Then they go to get the bird, Kevin, to his children, and he gets back to the city. And then he gets Carl with the party, the cribs, and at the same time, he gives them the sign, the Enviven. He also gives them the sign that he and his wife gave them when they were small. They are very happy and they are in their arms. Then they go and eat ice cream and play together. With them, the dog, he makes the sign of the Book of Encambles. The Encambles, the Encambles, the Encambles, showing them the house of the Ferdinand. Like Eli, he was hoping.